And then we strategically decided why not we focus as a unit, family as a unit or village as a unit, and then work with them. Mainly livelihood as the human rights, but at the same time, livelihood means not only employability or earning, but livelihood means even taking care of their health, education, and the broader terms of livelihood. We defined the broader term in the strategic plan, and then we started working on it.
Hello everyone. We have today with us Mr. Datta Patil, Chief Executive Officer, Yuva Rural Association, popularly known as YRA. Under his leadership, YRA has exhibited stellar community work in the arena of livelihoods, with the belief that nuanced sub-themes such as agriculture, non-farm based income generation activities, wash, and health being connected to the family's overall livelihood and sustainability. YRA has been at the center of designing holistic interventions for communities and delivering to the last mile. Before we begin the Impact Talk today with Mr. Datta, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce him. Mr. Datta is a dynamic and result-driven social activist having 36 years of experience in various capacities and positions in government and largely in the NGO sector with exposure to national and international developmental issues. He is known in the CSO sector for his remarkable contribution to the sector through his innovative and inclusive thinking, outstanding accomplishments in the arena of overall management in terms of projects, programs, finance, human resources, strategic and able leadership to the staff teams, volunteers, and different alliances and networks, with greater emphasis on achieving bottom line results. With a strong personal integrity to deal fairly, honorably, and upfront in all situations, Mr. Patil has brought his strong interpersonal and professional experience to YRA and has been responsible for forefronting multiple critical issues through their work. It is an absolute honor and pleasure to have you with us today, sir.
Thank you very much. Namaste.
So, to begin with today's Impact Talk, my first question is, could you tell us a little more about the journey of inception of YRA briefly and the thought process on the foundational beliefs of the organization?
Yeah, surely. I worked with a couple of organizations between 1980 to 83 till 1993, almost 10 years. And in 1994, there was a group, which is a like-minded kind of group, came together and decided to form a forum, which forum will basically go in rural areas and make the capacity building efforts of the civil society organizations in entire Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, and Rajasthan, that is Western India level. And this group was formed in Mumbai, and it happened to be first member, or in first 2-3 members, I happen to be the associated with this forum. And then I took the responsibility of Vidarbha region in Maharashtra, considering that Vidarbha region, even then time and today also, is considered as a backward region in Maharashtra. And so I took that as a kind of challenge, and I shifted from Mumbai to Vidarbha, Nagpur. In the initial stage, I visited many such organizations, NGOs, civil society organizations, very grassroots kind of organizations. More than 1,300 organizations I met in Vidarbha. And then I tried to understand the entire Vidarbha region. And I prepared a development perspective plan of 200 pages in 1996. And then I approached to many small organizations, grassroots organizations, and requested them that why not we together implement this plan. And this plan was supported by some funding organization. And then we initiated and started a network called Vidarbha Lok Vikas Manch. And then under Vidarbha Lok Vikas Manch, we took up many issues, especially human rights issues. And of course, livelihood is an issue related to human rights. And that is the way we basically fought for the rights of tribal rights of women and rights of small and marginal farmers. And then it was a kind of campaign, you can say, Andolan, and a very big Andolan, which was known by all ministers, which was known by even Rajyapal. And that is how we entered into the Vidarbha region and taking up the issues of rural and tribal communities. But after this, campaign, there was a question whether we should continue in the same region in the area and take up the issues, or we should leave all the issues to the local partners, local capacity build NGOs. But that time we found that there were certain issues which were kind of right-based issues and not a single organization locally. They were ready to take up these issues, maybe because of whatever fear or whatever their perspective. And so I wrote a report and said that we have initiated the process, and it is always better not to leave those processes unended. And that is the way then we initiated again, and we started working at a grassroots level in many districts of Vidarbha, taking up different issues. Like one issue is small and marginal farmers issue, and then we started working on sustainable agriculture. And right from 2002, we initiated sustainable agriculture process in entire Vidarbha region. And then that was continued. Then we initiated women's empowerment processes, women in distress to women in development. That kind of process was initiated entire Vidarbha. These processes were going on in Vidarbha, and of course, I was part of the organization called Yuva, Youth for Unity and Voluntary Action, which is based in Mumbai. And Yuva was mainly taking up the urban issues, and this remains like rural, totally rural issue. And there then the idea of separating these two different entities, rural and urban, that was discussed. And almost 1.5 year we were discussing at the topmost level whether we should go for this kind of decentralization or not. And then final decision was taken that we can go ahead with registering independent organization that will focus only on rural and tribal issues. And that is the way we initiated the process in 2001, and 2002 we got registered as Yuva Rural Association, independent organization. So we took some time of around 3 to 5 years as the first strategic plan of Yuva Rural Association, and then we got registration under different acts and different, our having our own board and all, and having our own strategic plan. And that is how Yuva Rural Association, mainly our first strategic plan was focusing on human rights. And under the umbrella of human rights, all the issues we had taken up, and we initiated the organization called YRA. That is how we started the YRA.
Thank you so much, sir. I think it's quite inspiring, and congratulations on completing like 20 years of some spectacular work happening from YRA. It is very inspiring indeed. We noticed that your work is focused on geographical areas of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, and Gujarat. Could you throw a little bit more light on why you picked this area, and what were the challenges you encountered, and of course, how you overcame them?
Yeah. So when we initiated and we registered, and the process of registration was going on, that time you must be remembering there was a Gujarat earthquake in 2002, 2003.
Yeah.
And then we reached to Gujarat for the rescue and even rehabilitation.
Ji.
And we worked there on rescue and rehabilitation almost 4 years. And again, the same thing happened like Vidarbha. We initiated certain processes in Gujarat, whether we should continue or not continue. And then there also we continued the processes. And that was again taken up under the Yuva Rural Association. Same way, we wanted to get the YRA registered from MP Society Registration Act. And we also were having one project in Baitul district of Madhya Pradesh. And so that Baitul and other 3 districts adjoining to Maharashtra, we included that particular geographical area also. And then it was kind of एक दूसरे को लगा कि ये पूरा एरिया था विदर्भ, then these 4 districts of Madhya Pradesh, and then Gujarat. And that is how we, in any case, we were supposed to keep our work area as pan India. And so we started working in 3 states, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, and Maharashtra, Vidarbha. Of course, the socio-economic conditions and even political conditions were almost similar in this particular area. And then we thought maybe it will be easier for us to go with the identified issues of development issues of these communities and work there. That is how we started. Yeah, I would say the registration process and these processes in 3 states were simultaneously on, and we were working on it. But somehow we had to close down both MP and Gujarat because just there was only one reason, that was the human resources. See, we tried much, but we did not get the local leadership who can really take it up ahead, and do the things, wonderful things, and achieve certain goals which we had, planned. Somehow then we had to close it down. We have to wind it up, and then we started focusing only on Vidarbha and part of Marathwada region of the Maharashtra. That is the journey of our Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat, and working in multi states. But unfortunately, we had to stop. And the only reason was the human resources. And I always believe that any organization, not only our civil society organizations, but any organization can work and can achieve the goals only if they have the capable and committed human resources. And unfortunately, that was not available that time. We continued our work almost 6 years. And after 6 years, then we took this decision to wind it up. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I think YRA has seen earthquakes to floods in these regions and has still flown through and has come to the rescue a lot of times. Having said that, just wanted to understand that with the depth of YRA's work in the livelihoods domain, how do you see it fitting in the emerging and evolving climate adaptation and mitigation landscape in India, given how important it's become in the recent past?
Yeah. First 2-3 strategic plans, we were focusing on human rights. And then I believe 4th strategic plan or 3rd strategic plan, we had questions to ourselves that whatever we have been doing, almost millions of people, they are getting benefits, but it was not possible for us to touch one person or touch one family that he or she got the benefits of what we are doing. And then we strategically decided, why not we focus as a unit, family as a unit or village as a unit, and then work with them, mainly livelihood as the human rights, but at the same time livelihood means not only employability or earning, but livelihood means even taking care of their health, education, and the broader terms of livelihood. We defined the broader term in the strategic plan, and then we started working on it. This particular strategic plan to 2021-2025, we are mainly focusing on climate change and environment. And if you know, recently we have completed 12,000 biogas units installation. 12,000. Last year and last 2, 3, 4 years, we have been working on solar intensification, and solar panels we have given to people through the, of course, CSR support and all. And we see that any initiative or any program, any interventions of YRA should not get, should not be against the environment or against the climate change adoption and mitigation. Rather, I would say each and every action, each and every intervention that we are planning, we do the due diligence that this is basically promoting adaptation and mitigation of climate changes. And that is the way we work. Not only that, but we also are right from the beginning, we were working with the Millennium Development Goals at par. And then I was a part of the whole process drafting the Sustainable Development Goals. I got a chance to give a very small, talk in United Nations uh, in the process of Millennium Development Goals to SDGs. And of course, I'm very happy whatever I had presented that is really seen in the SDGs. And we are now also committed to the SDG achievements. So now our main focus, though we are focusing on livelihood and women empowerment and gender and all, the cross-cutting area is climate change and SDGs. So none of our intervention should go against climate change and SDGs. Rather, it should promote, it should try and achieve the SDGs and the climate change mitigation and adaptation. That is how we are working. So it is interlinked.
No, I think I completely agree. Couldn't agree more on how the interlinkages are between these interventions and how one thing is linked to the other. Given your work in other spaces such as health and WASH, to name a few, how do you see the intersection of interventions across all of them to scale the impact on communities? Because I
Yeah,
also know, like, I mean, the livelihood aspect, you've definitely accounted for that.
yeah. So exactly, in the livelihood term, as I explained, we have included all these also. So Swachh Bharat ho, ya WASH project ho, ya livelihood, poultry livelihood ho, or even we have a irrigation project, protective irrigation. That irrigation product ho. In irrigation, say take for example. It is not like no, we have the talab and whatever water conservation for this thing, and then we lift the water for the irrigation. That is not the case. In fact, we are getting the water on the top or in the hill area, and topographically, we bring that water by siphon to the downwards land, an agricultural land, and that land is irrigated. So we even do not use the lifting machinery to lift the lift the water for irrigation. So those are the areas we basically link with whatever livelihood activities we have been doing, or even water and sanitation activities we have been doing. They are basically under the broader definition of livelihood.
Thank you so much. I think it's very reflective for me as a young professional to draw from the experiences that you have had. Having said that, what are the sustainability models you've adapted from the community's lens under these interventions that we are talking about?
Yeah, I can give couple of models, development models, which community can take up on their own, considering the what we have done and what we have shown them. One model definitely is related to small ruminant based livelihood, and that is the goatry. See, people, they have the goats, 3, 4, 5 goats, but in the morning they leave those goats to someone, and then they don't know whole day whether the goats get some water or not, whether they get anything to eat or not. In the evening, the goat comes to the household, and then they are kept there. That's all. And again, these communities are not looking at this activity as a commercial activity or income generating activity, but they are looking at it only as a ATM. ATM means, say for example, if there is any need in the household, somebody is sick and they have to admit the person, then they will do, and they don't have money. So then they will sell one goat and then get the money and do the things. Or the child has to go to school and child needs some schooling, books and all. So, and they don't have money, they will sell it out and then bring the, our fees and all, they can do it. That is how they are looking at it, but they are not looking at it as a commercial activity or business activity. What we brought into is, one is the goats, they get minimum three kind of you know health problems, and those health problems could be stopped by vaccination. People are not aware about the vaccination at all. Government do have its independent department, livestock department, but that livestock department, people don't go and approach to the livestock department at taluk level or block level, and that was the major gap we found. That is one. Then we know that the goat needs minimum kind of water in a day, minimum kind of nutritious food in a day. That also was neglected by these people. And these kind of scientific and technical things we gathered, we studied, and we went with those things to the people. And we gathered people and we told them that we will be giving this to you, but not directly. Not doctor cannot come to you, but we need young people, those who could be trained as by barefoot veterinary doctor.
Yeah.
And that is the way we selected around 10 such youth. We gave them training, we gave them a practical training under the doctors, livestock doctors, and then they got trained. And they started providing the services to all the goats in vicinity of 5 villages, 10 villages, and more than that. It was seen that 2,500 families, they could earn annually 7 crore 50 lakhs as a total additional income.
Wow.
Okay, 2,500 families. It is here near Nagpur, only around 60-65 kilometers, called Ramtek block. In the Ramtek block, this is the area where we have shown this difference. And I think this is a great model. We will have to, and people will have to adopt this model. And we are ready to guide them at whatever level, whatever numbers they want to cover. We are ready to help them. We have prepared a video documentation on this, and that documentation also will be available in the public domain within next 1 month. That is one model of development we have created. Another model of development I just mentioned, that is the we call it in the local language PIRD, that is protective irrigation unit. So the one protective irrigation unit is catering maximum 10 to 12 farmers with a land of 35 to 40 acres only. But that unit is very cost effective, that we spend around 3.5 lakh to 4 lakhs for one unit. But that one unit on the 35 to 40 acres of land, the farmers themselves, they are telling us that they were earning around 1.5 lakhs in their 4 acres of land, whereas now they are earning 4 lakhs in the 4 acres of land.
Wow.
That kind of model which we have developed, and this model also has been documented very well. Video documentation has been done, and that model also will be available in next month in public domain. So these are the two models I would definitely would like to mention here. Of course, there are small models like multi-layer farming, and the farmers in the rainfed agriculture is taking 3-4 layers of farming at a time.
Gee.
Some crops are taken underground, some crops are taken just above the ground, then above the ground, and then triples and all. So those kind of models. So at a time, a farmer is getting 4 crops in the same patch of land. So these kind of small models also we have started, initiated, created, and we are achieving the benefits.
I think that is amazing and very mind-blowing to see how you actually scaled impact in the recent past itself with evidential proof coming from there. Having said that, in the next 5 years, how does YRA as an organization look at adding to achieve the climate and the SDG agenda goals through your work and through your leadership, given your close association with both?
Yeah. See, currently the sector is really going in a very, very challenging situation. Very challenging situation. It is not like only the legal framework is changing or there are amendments in legalities, but at the same time, the whole issue of finance or funding support. And not only that, but another issue I mentioned that we have to stop our processes in Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. So that another issue is, third one is the human resources, capable and committed human resources. And the people, those who can work with passion. It is not that in this sector, people cannot only work in a profession or professionally. I always say that we need a human resources who will work both 50-50% with passion and with profession. So profession will bring in the whole capacities and technicalities and scientific approach and all, whereas the passion will bring, yes, I want to do it for my people like that, and I want to make the change like that. So it is very, very difficult in today's scenario to get these kind of people. And those who have passion and both profession, they don't want to work with anyone else. They want to initiate and start their own initiative. And so it is becoming very difficult for the organizations like YRA to sustain without such human resources and sustain without such financial resources. Even you look at the financial resources, you must be agreeing with me that whatever the source, foreign funding source was there already in India, all the foreign funding source is basically now almost stopped. Typical the foreign funding organizations existing in India, they have widened up. So they don't provide support. Rather, I would say even they also are facing many problems and issues. And so the finance is one issue, human resources is another issue, and compliances in regard. I will say, yes, we are there, we exist, so we have to comply. We have to do the compliance, whatever compliance we need to do. But we are first there to help the people, those who need our help, not to do the compliances. So if suppose, for example, the organization like YRA is engaged with 3, 4, 5 people only in doing the compliances against the legal formalities, then who will go to the people and understand their issues and work on those issues? So compliance need to be there, but it should not be like it is a kind of controlling and it is a kind of uh, putting into the problem, but it should be enabling environment. And so we think, and it is good thing that I have been associated in networks since long, almost 1994. Since 1994, I have been associated with many networks across India, across state, and then we have been discussing on these issues. So definitely social stock exchange, I think is another area wherein maybe we will be getting support. But surely it is not like no, we have left the hope. We have hopes, certain thing. We are looking at it in a different manner. Like basically I say that till certain take an example of 1992-93 when our nation was open for the privatization, globalization, and then it was we were with that flow, and so we did not get much problem. So now also whatever flow will come, we will be with that flow and we will conquer the thing and we will be definitely sustaining. The only thing is, I think that as a second leadership of the organization and people, those human resources which we really expect, if we get those people, then definitely this organization will sustain, because there are many issues even today which are to be handled, which are to be initiated the processes. So not only 5 years, in any case, we have crossed 20 years. So definitely another 20 years, the organization will show the results. Yeah.
Definitely, I think that is something that we also continue to hope for you. And thank you so much for your time, sir. On that enlightening note, it brings us to the end of this very wonderful chat. Thank you for a very, very enriching conversation and the opportunity for us to draw from your experiences and joining us here today, sir.
Thank you very much.